music. He's like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 and music. Love, love.
Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. This is a review for Teen Mom OG Season 7. This is part 2 of the reunion. If y'all hear my fan blowing, it's because it's so hot, bitch. It was a little bit warm today in Michigan. We was at like almost 70 degrees. So it was hot in my apartment. And I had the window open, but again, like centipede thing or like a snail thing came to the window and scared the dog shit out of me in my last review. So the window is closed. The fan is on. Okay? Anywho, tonight's lipstick, it is Urban Decay. It's Urban Decay. The color is called Perversion. I might have called it Persuasion on my last when I did the Teen Mom Younger Pregnant one, but it's called Perversion, and it's like a blackish color. Anywho, Teen Mom Part 2 of the reunion. I guess the highlights was really Ryan and Macy's story and everything. Kate's story was pretty easy, so I'm just gonna go over that. Were they last? Yeah, Kate and Tyler. You know, Dr. Drew was asking Tyler how it felt for him to have to kind of be on his own while Kate was getting help. You know, how it must be hard for him to express how hard of a time he had being, you know, basically in charge of everything, you know, dealing with Nova, with their business, also, you know, even still being there for Kate, being there for his dad, you know, how it was a lot. He agreed, he admitted that, yes, it is hard to talk about it because we know that Kate sometimes feels some kind of way and she blames herself for how he may feel. So he does that, like he sometimes can't talk about it because it is kind of difficult. He does say how he still smokes weed. Dr. Drew asked him that he does admit that he does still do that. He said, but he does not do it in the house. He only does it when he's like out with his friends, but nowhere around Kate. I don't see anything wrong with that. You know, I think it's good that he at least that he does not do it in the house. Because I feel like if he still smoked around her, that's wrong. But, you know, if he's doing it outside of the homes where she is not even, you know, associated with it, that's a good thing. And, you know, he needs a stress reliever too. So, you know, that's, you know, it is what it is. He says how he kind of felt helpless when Kate was saying that, you know, that when she was suicidal. And, he said just her telling him that, you know, he just didn't know if it was something that he did, like what could he do to make her not feel this way. But she kind of, you know, just assured him it had nothing at all to do with her. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about her at all. It was just her own stuff. And, you know, she was saying how she could picture herself like driving her car onto a pole and it killing her. I said, when a person thinks about killing themselves in a way that they might even die, they could just kind of be hurt, to me that's scarier. Like, I'm like, I always assume if someone wants to kill themselves, they're like, you know what, I want to like jump off a bridge and then I'll die that way, or I'll drown myself. When she said she wanted to hit a pole and hopefully, because you can hit a pole and live, you can hit a pole and just kind of just make yourself paralyzed, you know what I'm saying? I was like, that was a really dark way to want to die. But she's the only thing that stopped her from actually acting on it was because she had a daughter in the car with her. So you haven't, so that she knew she needed help. She absolutely positively knew she knew that she needed help on everything. So she went to treatment both times or whatever. And, you know, we found out that Tyler has been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I'm kind of not surprised by that because Tyler sometimes, you know, can go either way. So, but it's a good thing that he's getting the kind of help he needs for his issues as well. They both looked happy. They both looked healthy. And I think that's the best thing that we can honestly have for them. You know, they bring up how they had a visit with Carly and how Nova was there too. It was a great time. So I think that's a really, really good thing. But I also feel like seeing that for Carly, that both of her parents suffer from mental health issues, I do wonder if Brandon and Teresa worry that Carly could have some kind of genetic issue as well. So, that's kind of, crazy to think about too. So, yeah. They show Butch as well. Butch is still in treatment, and he is just getting better. He's been there for like 6 months. So he's been 6 months sober. They're very, very proud of him. He's doing very well. Even Kate saying how she wants him to stay there however long he needs to stay there to get better, even if he just stays there. And even once he's out of treatment, he just stays in Texas and does not come back to Michigan. She's just saying how she wants him to stay healthy, to have some kind of aftercare plan. Because that's the biggest thing about when you are an addict and you go to rehab. It's your aftercare plan. Because you can be as sober as you want in the facility. But if once you come home, you have no plan in place, shit spirals. And you know what I'm saying? So that was their whole thing. Who else? Want to go to Gary and Christina? Yeah, Gary and Christina. Gary, Christina, and Amber. Christina was saying how she regretted Gary getting the DNA test and found out that the dude was not his daddy, simply because, it hurt both Gary and his father, because they had no idea that he wasn't the father. But it kind of makes me, I think it was the thing because it was always a question about it. That's why they did it. Because my thing is, if the dad didn't think he wasn't the father, I wouldn't have went through a DNA test. But Christina was saying how because the guy had health issues, they wanted to be sure, because if he had health issues, it could be hereditary and it could be passed down to their children. So it was a good reason to go through with it, but was what it was. We then hear Gary talk about him, Amber, Matt, Andrew, all that things. Gary was saying how for him, when they talking about how he was like looking into Andrew's past or whatever, talking about different things. I love that Gary said, I'm saying, I'm a father first. I'm a father. I can't go into whoever Amber's dating and want to be friendly, because I have to be sure whoever she's bringing around my daughter is going to be a safe situation. She dated a few people before. Think about how bad it would have been if she would have had a baby with Matt. It's a crazy situation. And I completely agree. Honestly, I do. I think everything Gary does is for Leah. No matter how weird it look, no matter how petty it look, no matter how sneaky it looks, I do think in one way or another, he feels like Amber picks fucked up people. Amber meets people and quickly gets into relationships with them without really knowing things. I think because of that, he has made it a habit of him looking into the person, and if they have dirt, I'm gonna bring it up, because you don't know these things. And the crazy part about it is the things the things that Gary found out about Matt in the beginning that Amber kind of ignored were actually absolutely true. So it's a thing of, if she had kind of listened to him a little bit more in the beginning, she might not have been with him all that time, because he was kind of a bad guy or whatever. But it is what it is. Christina brings up the whole social media beef they had, and how it hurt her, what Amber said about her. She says that her and her ex-husband is not up restraining order, that her and the ex have joint custody, has 50-50 custody of their daughter. She does admit that her and Gary, that she did cheat on her ex-husband with Gary. And the funny part is when she said that, Gary then said, we didn't count, that was not our intention, but you can't stop love. I said, Gary, you can't. But now they're married with children, with a child or whatever. So water under the bridge, but you can't be up here having sex with other people's wives, Gary. So, they asked him what he feels about Amber having a baby with Andrew. I liked his response. He said, I would not want to have a baby with somebody I don't know, because you just never know what you're getting yourself into. And that's just not how he does things. I think that was the perfect way of saying That's what she did, but I wouldn't do that because again, she don't know him. Look at it again. What if she would have had a baby with Matt? It would have been a crazy ass situation. So now you have this baby with this man who you don't know. This the same amount of time that you're pregnant. You've been pregnant for 7 months. You known it for 8 months. You don't know that man. You really don't know. He don't know you. It's just gonna be a crazy situation. He says how, it's just, but that's Amber's life. It is what it is. They then bring on Amber, on video, whatever, her and Andrew. And she said how it kind of hurt her feelings that when she heard the things that Gary and Christina was saying about her on camera. She's like, I felt like they shouldn't have blasted me on camera. We could have talked about it privately. Gary said, like, for me, it's always been about keeping Leah first and keeping her safe. So, what I'm saying, I might say things on camera, but it's never any ill intent. He was like, honestly, a lot went on with her being with Matt. So for me, I'm saying things to keep my daughter safe and to be honest about what's going on. And I feel like Amber should know this because Amber was the one on Marriage Boot Camp saying how Matt was abusive. He was a drug addict. He stole money. So my thing is, this is the man that you brought around our daughter. So going forward, I'm going to be vocal and say, you're picking fucked up people and I don't like it. You're so damn depressed over a man who you barely knew and you stayed with him too long and you're neglecting our daughter. He then said, now she's doing better with getting Leah, spending time with her. But I mean, no one can negate the fact that for a moment of time, she wasn't doing that. She herself said it was because she was depressed. And now she crying. I just want people to not look at me like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want people looking at me the wrong way. And I get sad when, I think about me being depressed and having depression because it makes me a bad mom. I feel like Amber has all the excuses in the book as to why at certain points in Leah's life she was not around. And I feel like she, for the most part, blames her mental health issues. But I also feel like Amber creates her own issues. My thing is, you were depressed about Matt because you voluntarily stopped taking your medication. You did that to yourself. You put yourself in situations that make you have reactions that are not conducive to you being a positive, mentally controlled person. You spiral. You do that to yourself. And when you do that, I feel like you do it with no regard for your daughter. Because my thing is, if I know if I'm not on the right medications, I'm not going to be a good mom. I'm going to be sure that I'm always on top of my medications. And if you just stop taking them, you deliberately did that. Bottom line. So, she do say how, no, Gary said, when you're around, when she's good, she's good. Like when she's good with Leah, she's good with Leah. But, when she's not, she's not. Amber brings up how she was mad at Christina for the things that she said on the show, and said, I wish she would have talked to me directly, whatever. Christina then says, I'm sorry. Amber said, it hurt my feelings. I love how when Amber said that, the next thing that Christina said was, I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings. I did not mean to do that. We've always encouraged Leah to be there for you. But I feel like they should not have to force Leah to be there for her grown-ass adult mama. I feel like, as Gary said, like Leah's getting to an age where she wants to make her own decisions, and she sometimes does not want to hang out with her mom. And I think the reason is because her and her mom are not as close as she's getting older, because Amber ain't there as much. And again, it does not mean that Amber does not love her daughter. I think we all know she loves her daughter. Amber don't know how to be a mother. Okay? Amber sort of kind of apologizes to Christina for what she said. She just said, I'm sorry if I said anything hurtful. Girl, whatever. And that was the end of their situation. Who else was it? Okay, Ryan and... I'm trying to think. Should I do Ryan, Macy, and them, or should I do Farrah? I'll do Farrah last, because Farrah's shorter. Ryan still refuses to shoot with Macy. He does not want to go out on stage with Macy. He will only go out with Mackenzie and his parents. So, they get out there, his dad saying how, Macy is his trigger, and that's the one reason why he does not want to be on stage with her. Bullshit. Okay? Bullshit. You can't tell me anything different. Ryan is a child. Ryan gets coddled. Ryan is in a fucked up situation as he is now because no one close to him, meaning his parents and damn wife, they won't allow him to take accountability for his fuck ups. And that's point blank into the period. Dr. Drew was saying how, when a person is in treatment, they're supposed to be focused on their sobriety and their issues. It should not be about anyone else. And he does not feel like that's what Ryan is doing. And he's not. Ever since Ryan been getting high, out of rehab, in rehab, whatever, he's always blamed Macy and saying Macy is my trigger. You need to grow the fuck up, because my thing is the mother of your child should not be your trigger, because if you was a good father, she wouldn't have to trigger your ass because you are a good dad. The reason Macy is his trigger, Macy does not let him off the hook. Macy does not let him just kind of talk his way out of things, or she does not allow him to not say anything as if he's doing something right. She checks him. She takes him to task. That's why she's his trigger, because she sees through his bullshit. Whereas his mother, father, and Mackenzie allows him to just kind of fall by the wayside, be an okay father, or be a father when he wants to be a father, and then other times let him go home to get high and spend 10 grand a week on damn drugs. Girl, the fuck bye. Dr. Drew said, you need to always be focusing on your sobriety. The mom, Jen, agreed. Like, that is the truth. That's what he needs to be doing, and he ain't doing it. He admits how he is on, like, a prescribed medication from the doctors. So Dr. Drew says, oh, so that's why you do not want to give Macy a urine test, because the drug that you're on that's prescribed by the doctor, it will come back positive for opiates. He's like, so I get, if you did a drug test, I would understand Macy being pissed off. Mackenzie's so young and dumb, she think Dr. Drew is siding with Macy. She ain't. She's a fucking idiot. She does not get that what he's saying is, okay, I get how Macy would be confused with a positive test and why she would think something different. What he meant was, she wouldn't understand that you're on this prescription medication and that your doctor can attest that you are prescribed this medication and you're supposed to take it. And Mackenzie all up in I can't believe this. Shut the fuck up, Mackenzie. Just sit down some damn wiggle. We don't like you, your attitude, your mouthpiece. Nothing about you is. We don't like you, girl. And you gonna learn in a couple years that the grass is not greener on the other side, and that you over here trying to protect Ryan, and Ryan ass is not trying to protect you. When because Macy was saying how. What did she say? She just got mad and saying, you are on one side saying he needs to be on medication, but then you completely switch sides and kind of side with Macy, and she was getting an attitude. He said, are you done? Are you listening to me now? I said, come through, Drew. Get her ass together. What? Am I done? She looks at Ryan as if Ryan should check Dr. Drew. Ryan ass heard it, looked behind himself, and looked behind the couch. Ryan is not going to protect you, boo-boo. He ain't going to do it. That's the kind of man he is. So what I love is that Dr. Drew talked to her as she was the child that she is. He talked to her like she was a fucking toddler. Like, let me explain this to you, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He explained it to her and like, look, little girl, if the doctor prescribed the medication, that doctor can let Macy know he's going to test positive for these things. And, the doctor can then vouch for Ryan in that aspect. Whatever. I don't think anyone can, shut the fuck up. I just can't. Ooh, she gets on my goddamn nerves. Shut up, Meg. That's whenever I see Mackenzie talk, it reminds me of Family Guy. Shut up, Meg. She's Meg. Mackenzie is Meg from Family Guy. Trust and believe she is. And I'm goddamn Peter. Okay? Catch. So from there, the whole family is saying how, Ryan don't have much to say. And I feel like Ryan was not given any kind of eagerness to be in Bentley's life, because, Dr. Drew was like, do you want to fix it with Macy? Do you want to take the drug test so that you can go ahead and, have it done this way? How about, since you're taking these court order tests, you have those given to Macy so that you can see Bentley, just do that. And he kind of like, all right, I don't care, whatever, He doesn't care. He does not care. People say, well, no, Ryan is just, he doesn't talk much because he doesn't care enough to talk. You know what I'm saying? He don't care. I bet when he did them drugs, he asked for them. I bet you that. Okay? So at that point, you know what I'm saying? Mackenzie's like, it's my job. I'm not his mother, okay? Ryan's gonna do what he wants to do. Mace's gonna do what she wants to do. You know what I'm saying? My only job is to, support my husband because I'm not his mother. And that's why your husband is a drug addict. Because you don't hold him to task. For you to say that you're going to support. You can't support a person you're with and they're wrong. Okay? You have to eventually tell them you fucking up, bruh. I love you to death. I'll ride for you until the cows come home. But you got to fix this right here in order for me to be with you. You can't be a part-time father. And she makes excuses for him not being a good father. You can't keep blaming Macy. You cannot. It's just stupid. And Mackenzie is a fucking Meg. Okay. So everybody wants Ryan to be better except Ryan. Ryan doesn't care. Even though Ryan said, I don't want to talk about this because I don't want to get into an argument, and then when we get back home, I can't see Bentley. I don't think any argument on the show is going to prevent you from seeing Bentley unless you blow up for no apparent reason and you're going to get high and she don't trust you. That's the thing. I think Macy's situation has always been, since we've known he's been on drugs, and he was done, almost killed himself and that girl in a damn car accident on the way to their wedding. Was it the wedding? I think so. You can't be getting high and be around our son. And the fact that Mackenzie and Ryan don't understand, Ryan was a full-fledged drug addict. You were fully in a car driving with your fiance, and you were so high you could have crashed the car. I would not trust you with our child either, because clearly you having a problem, bruh. It ain't about how much money you pay her. It ain't even about if you don't come around that much. You had a drug problem. You were a goddamn drug addict. Any mother would feel the fact that Mackenzie can't see Macy's reasoning for doing it makes me question her as a mom. You don't understand that someone who almost killed you in a car accident. He could have killed you at any moment driving high and stuff. You don't understand why the next mom don't trust that man with her child? If you can't understand that, Mackenzie, I question your goddamn motherhood skills. And I'm like, whatever. So we then see, because Ryan still refuses to be on stage with Macy. Him and Mackenzie then left and went wherever else. So Macy, Taylor, Jen, and Larry are on stage talking. Macy admits that she did not even know Ryan was getting drug screened through the court system. It's like, I had no idea. When Dr. Drew asked her, well, would you be okay if you got results through them? Would that be okay? And she says possibly, as long as the doctor was prescribing him any kind of medication, if it comes back positive, they can attest to why it is. That would be okay. And the fact that she was saying that means they weren't communicating nothing with each other. Because my thing is, she should have known that. Because you could have even, and my thing not even that, even if Macy didn't know that, the fact that you did not try to use that to get visitation means you gave zero fucks, Ryan. Dr. Drew brings up how even Ryan's wife was not able to listen to him explaining that, because at this point in time, Taylor, Macy, Jen, and Larry all agree that's a good way to handle things as far as him getting Bentley. If the court ordered stuff is what she can get, and how she can order a drug test through the courts because he's already being tested for it in the first place. And I'm like, that right there shows that she is not, a complete, I don't care, I don't want to have him see my son at all. She's like, this will work. If this is what they want to show me, we can see it. We have to check it out. Oh, look. Okay, cool. So, yeah. So they all agree on that. Macy brings up how, she feels like, because he said, why don't you think Ryan wants to come on stage and, have a conversation? She says, because Ryan does not want to have to come out and, talk. He doesn't want to answer for himself. She's like, Ryan has people who answer for him, and he does. Because in the conversation with Dr. Drew, You had Mackenzie answer for him, his mom answer for him, and his dad answer for him. He stayed quiet the whole time, as he always does. They'll ask Ryan a question, he won't answer it, and someone around him will give a roundabout answer. Well, Ryan really won't. No, Ryan does not. He doesn't. He does not answer for himself. And she says, you know what I'm saying, because of that, that's why he did not want to come out here, because he couldn't come out here and does not talk. And then because he would not talk, that it would then escalate. You know, she even admitted that her and him both, you know, get all riled up. I think it's because they talk at each other sometimes. And I think the reason being is sometimes Ryan is just so difficult to communicate with. It's fucking frustrating. So at one point you just like, you know what? You're stupid. You're a drug addict. I don't care. But yeah, but they all agree that things do need to change. They all know that for a fact. And it's just a thing of, you know, Macy was saying how, you know, we just have to I'm not gonna stop. We have to all get a plan together, you know, get together on that and then follow it. Because as Jen said, they used to be able to coexist and have conversations. Like, it wasn't always perfect, but there was a point in time when they were okay communicating, and it was before Mackenzie. Okay, and that was the end of their whole thing. Last part was Farrah. Even though Farrah is no longer part of the show, they still talk to Deborah. Deborah was actually there in New York or whatever. You know, she came out, you know, her and David got married. She says how Farrah did come to the wedding, but Farrah did not bring Sophia. So that Farrah actually wore black to her wedding. Who cares? Farrah is stupid. You know, she came to the wedding to be funny. She wore black to black. She didn't want it's a death. She did not bring Sophia to be petty, to kind of still ruin her mom's day. That's what it was. She brings up how her and Farrah kind of does not talk anymore as much as they used to. She has not seen Sophia. You know, Farrah, of course, does not talk to her husband David at all. She brings up how, because I think he asked her, you think the reason she does not do, you know, the TV show anymore is because what she plans to do, you know, with her going to porn or whatever. And her mom says, you know, Farrah has like mental issues that I feel like it's taking over her, and it scares me because, you know what I'm saying, she's doing this porn stuff. She didn't call it porn. She called it scripted work. Porn is scripted. Okay, Deborah? She said, well, it's really scripted work, as if it's not porn. Porn is scripts. Okay, they write them porns. Okay, you can write a porn. Okay, I wrote a porn when I was younger. I wrote a story. It was a porn or whatever. But yeah. So I'm like, but no, Farrah out there fucking. Okay, she's acting out porn scenes. She's a porn star. She does porn. That's what she does. And ain't nothing wrong with porn. People watch porn. It is what it is. I think the difference is that porn life isn't what Teen Mom is about, and I don't think they want an adult porn star on the show. And you know, it is what it is. So, but I'm like, Deborah, all porn is scripted, girl, bye. So, you know, they then talk to Farrah, but he talked to Farrah like later on after the whole reunion was filmed. They go to LA, and you know, Dr. Doing Farrah talk. It was a waste of time. It really, really was. You know, she won't talk about anything that she said about her mom, but she's willing to talk about what her mom said about her. Stupid. She won't talk about, you know what I'm saying, if she's in therapy. She won't talk about whoever she's dating. She won't talk about the issues with her and the producers on the show that got her fired in the first place. She says how the producers made up drama between her and other producers. Girl, no, they did not. Because the way you acted was not made up. That was you acting that way. You can't blame the producers on that. She then starts clapping, like full-fledged clapping, like a goddamn seal. You know, let's give a round of applause for, you know, them making me look like a disgusting person. You made yourself look like a disgusting person every season and every episode you was on. Farrah has been a fucking terror on that show for 10 years. She went when she first was on 16 and Pregnant. She was bad, but she wasn't horrible. But she had a foul mouth. She was on her road to being who she is today. So she's always been this little foul mouth, evil attitude having I'm better than y'all person. She just didn't have as much money then. She has worked her way from where she was to where she is now. She does have businesses. That's a great thing. You know, she is a entrepreneur. That is absolutely true. she is just a horrible fucking person, and that's it. He asked if Sophia knows what she does. Well, yes, she knows what I do. I'm an entrepreneur. I have business site. She knows what I do because there's something wrong with what I do. I think Farrah gets confused about people. Even though there's nothing wrong with what you do, some people don't want to expose children to things too young. And so if your 8-year-old is aware of porn and sex and all that stuff that young, I don't think that's proper. That's my personal opinion. It is what it is. So, I think he asked like if she can give any specifics on what she was doing, and then she said, "I'm not going to elaborate on anything I'm doing because people love to sabotage me and ruin my stuff, so I'm not going to do that." We did ask did she have any parting words? She was babbling. She said something about she was proud of herself, was enough for herself. But then she all the women and all the women and people in the LGBTQ community. I'm like, wait, what? What are you talking about? Like, I was so confused when I was like, what? She was babbling. I really didn't care. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm happy Farrah's gone. I feel like Farrah's delusional to the highest power of delusion. I feel like Dr. Drew was saying how we're gonna really miss on the show. I don't think people are gonna miss her. I think Farrah was so mean, rude, and nasty to people. They're not gonna miss her. They're not. And it does not mean that they don't wish her the best in life. I feel like she was a headache for everyone. So they wish her the best and they want her to go away. And you know what I'm saying? That was it. So put your comments below. It is 3:07 in the morning. I have one more review to do. So let me get that done. So I am Jaylee. This is Jaylee's Corner. Peace.